Hey, I'm back. Welcome to the stream. I'm Psycho Metal. And I've changed the noise suppressant filter on OBS to an older setting that I used to have. So it's going to be a test to see whether or not the audio from my mic is actually going to pick up everything I'm saying. Because the other setting I had that I was using for the Ninja Gaiden streams, it keeps cutting my mic audio out for some reason. So if I'm not talking loud enough, it won't pick up all the audio from the mic, and even then, sometimes it still just cuts out anyways. So hopefully that's not gonna be a problem in this stream. But yeah. Let's see. So, oh, right. So I was trying to mess with OBS, trying to capture Krita, but it's very picky on which executable file that it looks at. But right now it's taking a while to pick it up. See if that does anything. Taking a while, taking a while, taking a while. There we go. I don't know why it takes so long for it to recognize Krita. I'll probably just have to start opening Krita at the beginning of the stream from now on. Well, what I mean by that is getting OBS to recognize that it's open. But anyways, welcome to the stream again. Hope you're having a good time. Had a great time with the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, or whatever you're celebrating. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Although from what I hear, Kwanzaa's not really celebrated all that much, but it's still around. And yeah, I'm just gonna be working on another piece in the Ninja Gaiden project that I'm working on. I'm aiming for 10 of these, but if I can push myself to do more, I will. Now, the first 2 projects that I did were in grayscale. So let me pull it up real quick. So here's the first one that I finished. And I finished the second one before the first one. So this is the first one. I finished this second, if that makes sense. And the only reason why I did so was just because I was really not feeling like doing all this foliage, this plant material here, the leaves on the trees and the plants on the grounds and on the cliff sides. I mean, yeah, the cliff sides. It just looked like too much work, and I just kept putting it off until finally I just got around to doing it. But yeah. So this is just in grayscale, no color. And the hatching honestly it doesn't make much sense to do this textured work or use these texture brushes, the leaves and terrain, and then only have the hatching done for the ninja here in the center. So I think I'm just going to stick to only the hatching and leave everything else not use these texture brushes. It doesn't look bad necessarily, but it just kind of clashes. It makes it redundant too to have texture brushes here and then the hatching on top of that, because that's not really what you see in comics and manga. Let's see, let's check the other one as well, the second work. And here it is. Now, for some reason, I decided to make my channel name opaque. I mean, sorry, 50% transparent. I don't know why. I thought that it would be too distracting to have my name on the piece in the corner there, but the fact is that if I'm trying to promote my work, then I might as well just make it completely opaque. It just doesn't make any sense to do 50% transparency and make it harder for people to see who made it. But yeah, I did a little bit better with the hatching and such here with the ninja than I did in the first work. The use of different grays and use of black, I'm conflicted about this, because on the one hand it does imply value. You can see that there's a lot more light hitting the underside of his body, or the lower half of his body, than the upper half. But at the same time though, it honestly doesn't really make much sense, because there's already hatching here. I thought combining the two would make it look better, and it kind of does, but again, it's a little redundant, because using these different grays and then not using rendering makes it look flat, and then using these hatching lines but also using the grays makes it counterintuitive. It doesn't look like hatching anymore at that point. It looks more like some sort of weird texture on his body, or on his clothes anyways. So I think for this third one I'm just gonna stick to hatching only. It'll just make it easier anyways in general. What else? I'm definitely gonna stay away from this. Again, it doesn't look bad, but the fact that I left the outline here, you can see the shape of the leaves here, the edges anyways, this outer edge here. It doesn't make much sense to leave that in there if I've got the texture of the leaves already put in. It just clashes again. So I'll just have to make up my mind of what I want to do. Grayscale with rendering, or just hatching. Texture brushes with no outlines, no contours. I mean, yeah, no outlines. Or do I just want to do nothing but line work and then just scribble a bunch of hatching lines to imply leaves are there. We'll see. Oops, my bad. Anyways, let's get started. Oops. Oh, no, never mind. And I'm going to skip the pencil layer because I'm pretty confident in my ability to ink now with my left hand that I can just skip straight to this layer. Normally in my drawing process I would use, let me show you. Yeah, you can see on OBS, cool. So yeah, this is the brush I would use, this one right here. And basically what it does is, let me make this transparent. There we go. Oops, zoom in. So this is a texture, not texture, this is the brush that I'd use for making sketches in pencil. It's got a grainy, pencil-like graphite look to it. But it just seems redundant to use this brush and then go over it with this inking brush that I use when I have the reference image right in front of me. It's just a little redundant because all I'm doing is just basically doing line work twice, and I don't want to take up unnecessary amounts of time doing something like that. Okay, so something else that I've learned is that I can use this dynamic brush tool. I think that's what it's called. Yep, dynamic brush tool, right there. For some reason OBS didn't pick that up. That's okay, that's what it's called and that's where it's located. And basically what it does is just basically acts as a stabilizer for your brush. So it makes your line work, or the lines that you draw, more cleaner and straight and all that. So you can see that it looks really clean. Like that. And you can change the amount of distance and speed at which the cursor can move before Krita actually starts inputting the what's the word for it? I guess the application of the brush itself, the changing the pixels to black, the quote-unquote ink from the brush. Anyways, let's get started. I didn't really have a list of topics to discuss, but there were some things I wanted to bring up. And let's think, what's the first thing I want to talk about? I don't want to bring up the whole teaching thing again. I want to make that into a separate video because I'm afraid of just going on a rant about that and then just stopping what I'm doing and just doing nothing but just ranting for a good 30 to 40 minutes. Because I got close to doing that last stream and I don't want to risk that happening at all. Alright, so oops, that is the opposite of what I wanted. There we go. Okay, really need to change that. Or make a shortcut for that. So I found out that in order to control the line width or line weight of the line art, it honestly just comes down to how hard and how light you press down on the tablet pen on your tablet, drawing tablet, and that's something that I need to work on more, because I thought I could go into the brush settings and do something with the size setting of the brush, and then have basically Krita compensate for me to manage how hard and how soft I'm pressing with the tablet pen, so that I can get consistent line modulation. But that's not really possible, because it really does depend on how hard I'm pressing the tablet pen, and therefore that means I just need to get better at controlling the amount of force I'm putting on it, which is not really that big of a deal, or not really a problem. I can do that. Let's see what else. Here's a tip that I'm gonna make into a video later, but basically, if you want to improve your line art, or not line art, more like how well you draw lines, curve, straight, all that, there's a specific activity that I do that has helped me develop my motor skills in my left hand to be able to do this kind of line work without needing stabilizers or any other kind of feature, and that is to basically trace simple shapes and lines, vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines, squares, circles, and triangles, just on a separate document or a separate file. Keep tracing over those lines and shapes on another layer, and just do that for about 10-20 minutes in total, and just do it daily. And the reason why you want to do that is because what you're really training is not only your motor skills, but also training your eye-to-hand coordination to be able to draw those lines and shapes without having squiggly lines or chicken scratches and whatnot. And it's going to be difficult at first. It always is. Even after I take a break from drawing for like months on end, that's pretty much something I have to. That's an activity that I do to get me warmed back up. Assuming, of course, that was before I had my right hand messed up. But anyways, that's an activity, and so far I haven't really done anything else to improve my line art as a result. Trying to get this as clean as possible. So here's another thing that I like to do. Whenever I have to combine two lines together when I'm inking, as in I have to stop in the middle of a line, or when I'm trying to trace over a curve like this. No, that's not a good one. Trace over a curve like this. For whatever reason, right? Maybe there's like a loop in the curve or something like that, or there's a part or wrinkle in the fabric of this guy's clothing that I have to stop and pick up my tablet pen and move it somewhere else to draw the rest of the wrinkle or the fold in the fabric. Pretty much what I like to do is I like to use an eraser and erase in a diagonal direction. Doesn't matter which direction of the end of that line, and then start this end where I just erase, and then pick up where I left off And so far it's been consistently helping me to keep the, as you can see, the line length. Like, it's almost seamless. Now, you can hardly tell that I stopped there in the middle of this line and continued it from there. Now, sometimes I don't have to do that, but it pretty much helps. So that's why I keep doing it that way. There's another thing I wanted to talk about, and that is the topic of tracing itself. So why am I tracing this image over, say, trying to draw the forms and shapes and all that? Well, for one, proportions for human anatomy, well, when it comes to realistic human anatomy anyway, so let's take a look back. This is a screenshot from the Ninja Gaiden Sigma game, one of the cutscenes, and they use realistic body proportions, right? Instead of trying to figure out the exact height and width of all the limbs of the body, the arms, the fingers, the hands, the head, where the parts of the head go, like the eyes and nose and so on, and getting that right size, right location and all that, which if you don't get right consistently on all those dimensions, then the form of the body looks really weird and off, and it's really easy to tell too, and therefore it feels like you pretty much don't know what you're doing, but that's not really the case. The fact is that trying to draw from still life, or what's the word for it? Don't tell me I forgot how it's called. Drawing from life, I think that's what it's called. The reason why drawing from life is so difficult is just because you don't have any way to measure with units and numbers anyways, like a ruler. You don't have any way to measure what you're looking at if you don't have a tool anyways. And when you're just using your drawing tablet and such, the most you can do is use these rulers here on Krita anyways, and use these guides. But at that point though, you're just adding extra steps to something that you could do easily, which is just tracing over this. Now, just because, how should I say this? It's not enough just to trace an image, right? Yeah, especially one that involves human form or human body. I'm obviously going to change the aesthetic and the elements of this image. I'm not going to just copy it verbatim. That's dumb. I might as well just repost the same image instead, or the screenshot rather. But nonetheless, though, why copy the forms then? It's because I want to get the accuracy of the form of the body and the leaves and such, but I don't necessarily want to waste time having to go back and erase mistakes, readjust proportions, move certain parts of the body around where it's supposed to be and such, after I've already drawn it 5-7 times. I've already did that in my figure drawing and painting courses, and pretty much I guarantee you the only reason why it only matters when you're doing it in that context is because you don't have a way to copy what you're looking at without taking a picture of it first with your phone or a camcorder and then tracing that image. I mean, after you taking that image, printing it out with the same dimensions as whatever canvas size or paper you're using, and then just copying it like that. And then even then though, there are ways to copy an image, or sorry, how should I say it? There are different ways of copying an image too, so this is just the easiest, but I am still going to modify it so that it's not just blatant copy. And how am I going to modify it? Well, let's take a look back at what I did with the other two. So if you look at the second work, this is what I did. I took a brush that mimics or has the mask of a tree leaf. That's how I was able to get this texture. I use hatching lines for the form of the ninja, for EU anyways, because this is EU. And I also use value. And notice that this is all monochromatic. I could have added color and just use a color picker and such, but I didn't want to do it that way. Why? Because I want to take the screenshot and do something different with it. So if you're curious on what the... oh, hold on. This is the wrong file. Close this out. So if you're curious on what the image I was using for this screenshot looks like, just like that, and then that's what it looks like, or that's the screenshot that I was using. And guess what? Notice that there's color, and keep in mind this game is pretty old, right? The vanilla release of Ninja Gaiden 1 on in the 2000s anyways. I should call it 3D Ninja Gaiden, to be honest, because the original Ninja Gaiden game was 2D and released in the 90s. So 3D Ninja Gaiden 1 vanilla had these low resolution textures, and you can see too that the models of the tree leaves and such, they're just flat 2D shapes, straight up. Like this one's just sticking out, and that's a good example of what I'm talking about. Clothing as well, I mean, it's blue and such. I could have used color to represent all that, but I didn't. There's also complicated lighting. This side of his leg that's bent has got shadow here on the inner part of the thigh, and this inner part of the chin has also got a little shadow on it too. So to make it simple and make it more so something I would do, I just simplified the rendering with the hatching. So I made the light look like it's coming from the left side, and again the shadows are pretty much on the right side of his body, all of his limbs. And pretty much this is something that a lot of artists do. Oh, I don't want to do that. Actually, I do want to close that. No. And that is basically they take something that they're looking at or they're using and just changing it enough. That's the key word, changing it enough so that it's not just outright plagiarism, and on top of that, they put their own spin on it. And that's what I'm doing with this project, really, with all these images. So in this case, I'm going to make this one monochromatic. Why is this? Oh, I see. My bad. Anyways, trying to alter the image while still retaining some elements of it. In this case, I want to render the form of the ninja and the plant life and the environment realistically, like in the screenshots, but I also want to change the coloring, changing the way the value is rendered, and so on. Come on. There we go. Nope. No, that looks bad. And mind you, the resolution is not necessarily bad because I did something to the image. This game was released in 2004, well, the original vanilla release anyways. So you can imagine that the resolution at the time was not very high like it is now. I think the highest was 480 resolution. So therefore, that's what the game's cutscenes are set in. I mean, yes, the PC port does change the settings so that you can have a higher resolution and such, but the natural, not the natural, that's not what I meant to say. The actual polygon count of the 3D models are pretty low still, as they were in the original release, and on top of that, some textures are not going to be changed to upscaled or anything like that, like I showed with the trees, or the tree leaves rather. So there's only so much you can do when it comes to using screenshots of old games. And it's better to modify it by putting your own stylistic depiction of these forms our way you see fit. Make it simple and just draw stick figures. You can complicate about it and draw a bunch of almost photorealistically. It's up to you. I'm probably gonna have to erase this part, this end here, because it's getting too hard to work with. Yeah, that's better. And let's see, how much time has gone by? 3 minutes. Good. My goal is to make this, make this stream about 2 hours long. Again, I'm trying to push for longer content. When it comes to streaming anyways, the videos I'm going to still keep however long they need to be, and they're usually pretty short. I try not to drag videos very long. Is that the shadow? No, it's not. That's the hilt. Not the hilt, the sheath. Sword. So, why Ninja Gaiden of all games? Why am I doing fan art of this? Why am I just using the screenshots of cutscenes, especially at the beginning of the game and all that? Well, for one, I was feeling nostalgic. 2, the Ninja Gaiden games and basically any 3D Team Ninja games are really, they look really nice even in today's standards. Both on a technical level and on an aesthetic level. Oh wait, is that? That's not a shadow, so I'll still draw it in anyways. I'm not sure what this is. Come on. And as you can see though, you could use all the stabilizers and tools you want, but at the end of the day, you still have to know how to draw a line correctly, still have to understand basic anatomy, how to render things properly, and so on and so forth. There's only so much that technology will do for you. But if there's any way for me to save time by having the technology, in this case Krita and my drawing tablet, if there's any way for me to use these things to save time and effort, then I'm going to do it, because why bother putting the extra time and such for something that people aren't really going to notice anyways when they look at the end result when the drawing is finished. Some people are into that, me not so much. I mean, I've already did that in art school, so I'm good. Like, I've already proven that I can work hard and such. I don't need to prove it. I don't need to prove that to anybody else. Not like it matters anyways. Most people just want to see a pretty image, and that's it. That's all they care about. They don't care about what it took to make that image. I mean, if you want an example of what I'm talking about, just look at any kind of meme online. Most people, they don't really care how bad the image looks. In fact, sometimes if an image or drawing and a meme looks really bad, sometimes it helps makes a meme even funnier. But people don't look at memes as necessarily art. They look at it as a joke, a visual joke. That's not to say that people don't take art seriously, but nonetheless though, that's not the point of memes, and therefore people aren't going to really care about how the meme looks so long as it's funny and if it's reusable. I forgot this is the sheath sword, so it's got to be, yeah, continuous like this. There we go. Oops. And I guess I might as well explain this too. Why do I zoom in so far in? Well, it's because since I'm using a drawing tablet that doesn't have a screen, it's just a Wacom Bamboo drawing tablet. Forgot what model number it is. Pretty much. Actually, you know what? Probably better to do it this way. There we go. The reason why is because, hold on, it needs to be thicker in the end. Thicker. Yeah, something like that. Cool. And it's okay if it's not exact. I mean, this is just clothing, so it's gonna look baggy anyways. So I'm not looking at a screen on my tablet, of course, it doesn't come with that. So therefore, I'm looking at my monitor. And in order to make sure that I don't have to stretch or in order to force my shoulder to work, as well as my elbow, move my whole arm to draw a line, I had to basically make the amount, the distance of the line, or the motion of the line that I'm drawing, greater. And the only way to do this is zoom in. If I zoom out, as you can see there, if I want to draw a line from, let's say, here to here, hold on, let me make that a little bit darker. Here to here. Let's do it like this. His hand to his other hand, like that. I didn't have to move my, I didn't even have to move my shoulder to do that. I literally just did that with my wrist, the rest of my hand. Like I'm drawing a letter. And yes, sometimes I can get straight lines like that, or really clean lines, but as you can see, there's like a little curve there that I didn't want to do. But if I zoom in about this far, and so you can't see it, of course, but basically what's happening is my pen, the tablet pen, I'm having to basically move it off my tablet, on the bottom of the tablet. I start from the top of the tablet, and then it drifts off of the bottom of the tablet, and that's how long the line I can make it. I physically cannot draw the line completely from this hand to the other hand because I zoomed in way too much. So about here is a good enough distance, and I'll start here, and there we go. I can use my shoulder now without making a tablet pen drift off the tablet itself, so it's not too far of a distance. And on top of that, it's not too close, right? I can actually use my whole arm instead of just my wrist, so I can make a better, cleaner line. Like that. Anyways, that's pretty much the reason why I zoom in that much. Sometimes, if I'm drawing something that's really big and such, that takes up the majority of the canvas space, then obviously I'm going to zoom out. But if I'm drawing something small, that's a detail like the fingers of this hand, I'm gonna zoom in however much I need to, sometimes way past like 200%. But normally I stick to around 200 to 266% when I'm drawing small little details like that. Otherwise though, I usually stick around somewhere between 100 and 266%. Let's see. That's good. Oops. Zoom out a bit. And you'll see me doing that a lot, just zooming in, zooming out, however way I see fit. And while I'm doing this, doing the line work, I'm trying to focus on how hard and how softly I'm pressing on the tablet pen so that I can get this line weight variation. Otherwise, I'm just going to get nothing but the same line weight, and the line work therefore just looks really boring. If you take a look at any professional artists or any popular artists on Twitter and Instagram, that's pretty much what they do. Not all of them, but a lot of them do, because if you don't have color, if you don't have value, then, and if all you got left is just a line work, then the way you make the line work not look boring is by, or one way to add variety, I should say, and interest to the line work is, just add line modulation. If you don't know what that is, basically it's just the changes in how thick and thin the lines are in a drawing or painting. Let me think. What else do I want to talk about? Right, so Twitch pretty much did something, or they changed their terms of service, and people took, not everyone, but a lot of people took advantage of it and pretty much forced the terms of service changes to be reverted back to the old terms of service. They basically had to undo the changes, or Twitch anyways had to undo the changes that they were trying to make it set out to make sure that everyone has a fair everyone gets treated fairly under the terms of service, and especially in regards to VTuber models and art of all mediums. But I'm not gonna say all, but some streamers took it way too far and pretty much ruined it for everybody. So now, I wasn't streaming on Twitch during that escapade, or that circus show, but nonetheless though, I was watching some streamers drawing and such, and I saw live that they got banned for basically drawing not safe for work stuff. And some unfortunately got banned for drawing stuff that wasn't not safe for work, but some members of the community just for whatever reason had them on the hit list and wanted their stuff taken down for whatever reason, so they got banned as well, even though they weren't doing anything wrong. So because of all those reasons, right now I just don't feel comfortable streaming on Twitch. It just doesn't look a good place to stream right now. So I don't want to be affiliated with the things that the platform does. And that's not to say that anyone else condones what they do or what Twitch staff does. I'm not saying that, but as of right now, though, I just don't want to have to worry about, oh, if I'm drawing this character that I haven't drawn their clothes on yet, but nonetheless, though, someone sees what I'm drawing and they think that I'm drawing nudes or something, then they're gonna try to not cancel, but they're gonna try to take my channel down, this and that. I don't want to have to deal with all that drama. I will stream on Twitch eventually, but right now it's just not a good time. Even though technically it's easier. But another problem with Twitch is that they still don't archive VODs at all. They just don't. And that's one of the big good things about streaming on YouTube is that YouTube will archive your VODs for you. You don't have to upload it as a separate file. You don't have to record your streams as you're streaming. So you're not having to take up extra space on your SSDs, and you're not having to make your PC, laptop, or whatever. You're not having to make your computer work harder just to do something that honestly it shouldn't have to do in the first place, and so on and so forth. Like, it's just, I know it's just too easy. Not easy, but it's just streaming on YouTube right now is just too attractive because of all those features. But the one thing I did discover with YouTube that I do have a gripe about is the clips system. And I don't know who else uses clips, but when I'm making clips on my own streams, pretty much it's not saved as a separate video file, like on Twitch. Oops. Instead, it's pretty much saved as just a embedded link to the part of the stream where that clip was made, and you can't archive that part. You can't segment it out of the VOD, right? Like on Twitch. So all I can do is just share it on other platforms, and that's about it. And that's fine enough for now, but I did want to archive these clips on my own YouTube channel. And there's no category on my YouTube channel where I can revisit these clips that I made. So, pretty much, I would just have to download the VOD and cut the, not cut, but edit the clips myself through a third-party software, which I've already got. I mean, I already do that anyways. I was already doing that before, not consistently, but I was already doing that. So it's not too big of a deal for me to do it again. But nonetheless, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do that anymore. That was it. Okay, we're almost at the 1 hour mark. Cool. Let me think. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Maybe make a list next time I do this. So, I've been posting different art studies, on my Twitter account. And for the most part, people have been taking a relative notice of it, but more than anything else, so I think I might stop doing that because I don't want to clutter my timeline on Twitter, and I definitely don't want to clutter my Instagram, which I have now as an archive of my digital works. I just don't want to clutter my accounts up with a bunch of unfinished works. DeviantArt was a good place to do that, just because for the most part. You can edit, not edit, but you can drop image files in and out pretty easily and modify your gallery. But Twitter and Instagram don't really work that way. Pretty much once you upload something, that's it. You either have to delete it if you want to modify it, or in the case of Twitter, or make sure that, or you can't organize your images. Oh, hold on, I forgot. You can't categorize your images like on Instagram. You can't do that really with Twitter either, but that's pretty much something I wanted to bring up. Ever since DeviantArt's been doing some weird mess lately, and thus it's been pretty much discouraging active or long-time users from using the site anymore. There hasn't really been any other place to set up a portfolio like DeviantArt. I mean, sure, you got Newgrounds, but Newgrounds really doesn't cater towards hobbyists and such. They cater more towards content creators and people basically that are already good at their craft. There's not really any sense of, but there's not really any place for beginners and hobbyists to just post their works no matter how bad they are. Because obviously Newgrounds wants to make sure that they have, and this goes with any site, sure, but this wasn't really the case for DeviantArt. DeviantArt was fine with whatever you posted, no matter how bad or good it looked. It will, of course, promote the best looking works, but it still would archive whatever images you upload, even if they look bad. With Newgrounds, though, they don't really want users doing that. They'll still promote the best works and such, but they still, I wouldn't say actively encourage, but they still expect users to try and not to just take up their website space. Just posting whatever mess that users want to upload, like memes and such. Unless, of course, it looks good. I've been looking around, but so far, any other image archiving site has either been already taken down and become defunct, or pretty much doesn't really archive images and instead just acts as more another social media platform. People have said Pixiv, people have said Newgrounds, like I said. ArtStation's another one, but the problem with Pixiv is that it's catered more towards a Japanese audience because it's made, as far as I know, it's made by Japanese people. So a Westerner like myself isn't going to really understand how to use it. Of course, I could always learn, but you know, it's not really made for people where I'm geographically located. The cultures are very different there too. Let's see. Come on. And I already talked about Newgrounds. ArtStation is really used for professional artists, or they're used by professional artists, and it's made specifically for professional artists. I guess I'll just draw a little insignia here. Oops. I hope this isn't like some sort of character that I'm drawing right now. It's going to be problematic in the future. don't think so. And even if it is, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'll just leave it out. I'm so worried about it. I might as well just leave it out. There's been some upstarts to replace DeviantArt, but so far some are still in beta. Others I don't really see sticking around because they're just not going to have the funding to back up, or not back up, but to be financially stable and therefore stick around. Yes, you still have other sites like Tumblr and Reddit, but both aren't really made for uploading a portfolio. And they're not really made for archiving works either. They can. I think Tumblr does a much better job of that than Reddit. But I'm not too sure. I haven't used Tumblr. I barely used Tumblr back when there was actually still a popular place for artists to upload their works. And I made a Reddit account, but I haven't really used it at all. I've just been using 4chan, and 4chan really isn't a place to archive your stuff, but at least the community there is a lot more... Well, the community exists there. I don't know any other art communities that I would go to. Well, DeviantArt used to be the place to go to for an art community, but ever since they've been trying to remodel and rebrand the site, or the staff members anyways, and the company that bought DeviantArt out, pretty much the community there is non-existent. Twitter isn't real. There's no real art community there. You pretty much just post your work, and if someone responds to it, sure. But otherwise, though, there's not really any place on Twitter for getting help and such, or not really help. There's no one-on-one interaction like on 4chan. With 4chan, because it's a forum-based website, you actually get feedback and such that's more personal, like on DeviantArt. And DeviantArt, funny enough, used to be very forum-like, because or like a forum website, because at the time, anyways, it was made a model websites like 4chan and other forum websites. I can't think of any others right now that are popular anyways. But now it's just trying to mimic, or DeviantArt anyways is trying to mimic social media platforms, so it just lost its personal touch. And like I said, Twitter, I mean, you don't really get that one-on-one interaction. Yeah, you can DM artists and this and that, and that's what I tried doing as well, but that's not what other content creators and artists use it for. And therefore, you don't be surprised if you don't get a response back. And even if you do, I mean, the most they'll say is, yeah, you can make fan art of my OC, or yeah, you know, I like your work and such, keep it up. But that's about it. You're not going to get anything more than that. You're not going to get any kind of critiques. You're not going to get, you're not going to be able to convert whatever comments you get on Twitter into a full-on discussion on a particular topic, whether it be the intellectual property that you're making fan art of, right? You're not going to be able to talk about that. Or not that you're not going to be able to, but, you know, that's not what people do. And it's not really their fault either. Twitter discourages that kind of long messaging habit because of the character limit with tweets. Yeah, you have tweet longers and all that, but that's not what they're really used for. But I'll still keep looking though. Might do some other ones. Instagram, as far as I know, is a pretty good one, even though it's technically a social media platform. So far I've been able to upload all my images and such. I won't be able to, not images, my projects. Now I'm not able to, as far as I know, categorize those image files like I was able to on DeviantArt, but at least it's something. I'm still bummed out about the fact that Twitter basically did not keep my timeline from all the way back in 2019, 2020, and 2021. I didn't even keep anything for 2022. I still have the files of those past projects that I worked on and upload on the Twitter archive on my other SSDs, but it just kind of makes me mad that I can't look back on those posts from all those years ago. There was one more called Fur Affinity, but it's still around and such, but I've heard nothing but bad or just meh things about it. Not great. It's something, but it's mainly used for furries, or rather by furries, for furries. And then even then though, I don't think a lot of furry artists use that platform. I think they use what everyone else is using, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and all that. I'm also working on other ideas for projects, fan art of VTubers that I enjoy and watch. What else? Want to make comics as well. Short little comics here and there. Also wanted to make projects that are a lot more personal and thematic. Projects that tell a story or say something about some sort of topic or issue, something like that, like social commentary kind of works. And if you want to know an example of what I'm talking about, check out the Boondock comics, or the comics from the Boondocks anyways. If you don't know what the Boondocks are, basically most people know about the show, and that's how I was introduced to it. But there's also the original comics of the Boondocks. I forgot the artist's name, or the creator's name, but basically it's about these young African-American children, and they're basically just commenting, doing social commentary on a lot of issues and topics related to people of color. So things of that nature. Because doing projects like these, I mean, they look nice and everything, but without some sort of message behind it, most people are not going to really care, or they're not going to really remember any of these works. I'm only making this project mostly, one, because it's something that's interesting to me, but two, it's just an excuse to have something to put into my portfolio and to demonstrate my knowledge and mastery of drawing. But once I'm done proving to people, hey, I can make something look nice, I want to transition to doing something else, more purposeful, serves a function of some sort. I also want to make more assets for my streams and content. go. I think I'll change the background music now because it's getting a little repetitive. Also, I just realized I never saved this project.
Are you saving again?
Yes, I'm saving again. Also, dude. Alright, let's see. Here. Another folder. Let's put 3. Whoops. That's no, sorry about that. My bad. I forgot that about the hotkeys. Alright, there we go. Alright, now let's change the track. There we go. I used to just have a playlist run through the entire stream, but I noticed that a lot of YouTubers, they'll just play one track, even if they're just chatting streams, and just have it loop over and over and over again, and no one seems to care. As long as the soundtrack sounds good anyways, then no one's going to complain about that, so I figured I might as well just do the same. I like variety, but at the same time though, it does get a little much when you hear 15 different tracks within the same stream. Oh, hold on. I think I'm almost done rendering the, I mean not rendering, drawing the form. Yeah, I am. So for this project, the goal is to make this monochromatic. And I'll still be using hatching to render the value, but definitely though, I want to try adding a little color to it. Alright, hold on. Come on. I just had a chicken scratch it. Alright, hold on. Alright, anything else I want to talk about? Let's think. Hard to say. Ooh. No, I'm kind of drawing a blank right now. I'm talking for about an hour, which is good, but at the same time though, running out of topics to think of. I guess there's something else that I want to talk about, and that is I'm hoping that I'll be able to because I talked about I talked about me want to try doing commissions and such, but I think I got a better idea. I think instead I might just offer to work for other content creators by drawing emotes, assets for streams, overlays, things of that nature for them. Because I see a lot of artists that interact with the VTubers and streamers. That's what they normally hire them for. And I know it's just contract-based work, but it'd be nice to basically make art for content creators, and then basically set up my own like little gig where that's all I'm doing. But we'll see. That would be a great honor though, being able to have my art being used and shown by a popular content creator. I could have just used the line tool for this. I think I might. Yeah. Oh, actually, I got a better idea. Use the parallel ruler. Oh, whoops. See if this is connecting. It is. Cool. And then oops, I totally forgot. I don't know if I'll be streaming consistently like I used to back in 2022. In 2021. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I mean, when I was working as a teacher and doing all the coursework and paperwork and this and that for school that I was working at and alternative certification program that I was in, it just took way too much time to the point where I barely had time to eat and sleep. So I'm just waiting on whatever job that I get next. That'll determine whether or not I get to stream like that again. I'm hoping so though, because I do miss doing this. Very therapeutic for me. I'm not sure if I should do the shadows there. I don't want to. We'll see.
Are you saving again?
Yep. I honestly just want to stream more frequently in general because there's a lot of content that I can make of me just gaming or drawing, and I could just make easy live stream content doing that, since I do it consistently anyways enough. Not daily, but you know, I do it more days out of the week than I care to admit. And for some reason, I just don't do it. And I think I know the reason why. Streaming itself is not a difficult thing to do, per se. Well, the act of actually just hitting start stream and just doing whatever you normally do off stream, that's not the hard part. The hard part is just doing what I'm doing now, which is just talking. And that's what a lot of non-content creators don't understand, is that when you're talking to people all day, or just talking to the mic for longer than an hour or two, it gets really tiresome because you have to focus on what you're doing, in this case drawing or gaming or doing something else. Then you have to also talk and bring up topics and such, and then on top of that you have to make sure what you're talking about isn't problematic, it's not controversial, it's not, you know, you gotta watch what you say and do and this and that. So it becomes very mentally taxing, and that's why a lot of, and it's probably the reason why I don't really do this as often as I probably should. But the best way to get better at it, of course, is just to keep doing it. Do it, well, not keep doing it, but to do it more consistently and frequently. There's also the fact, or not the fact, but there's also the topic of burnout. I don't necessarily want to burn myself out doing this. As soon as I force myself to do something, it stops being fun. It stops being a hobby and becomes a chore or a job. And that's the one thing I promised myself when I first started making content back in 2019, is that I don't want to treat this as a job. Because as soon as I do, it stops being fun and I start to not want to do it anymore. And let me say this up front, I'm not a lazy guy. I'm not lazy at all. I got too many people that can tell you otherwise, past employers, friends and such, even a lot of the customers and students that I was working with. So I'm not lazy whatsoever, but if I don't want to do something, either because it's boring or uninteresting, or there's just no benefit to me doing it, even intangible benefits, then I'm not gonna do it, straight up. And I know myself enough to know that if I try to push myself to do something that I don't want to do, then I'm just gonna quit. And that's what I did with art. Back in...
Are you saving again?
2022, I think. But as I became a teacher and I visited the arts district and the city I live in and this and that, got exposed to other people who are also artists, co-workers and employers and such, I kind of just realized maybe this is something I should do after all. Now granted, it's not going to be easy, and there's not going to be really any support for what I do as far as making art goes, but if nothing else though, I don't see why not. I'm not losing anything besides my time. And it's not difficult either. I mean, there are some things that are difficult at first, but, you know, with knowledge and practice, it gets easier until eventually it becomes second nature and seamless. So yeah. And I figured that at this point I might as well just make my own job. Yeah, that kind of sounds a little weird, right? An artist making their own job, how does that work? Well, for the most part though, I do still want to make content and such, but I would actually like to help other content creators out with, you know, making assets, as I said earlier. And other things of that nature. Maybe make a business out of it. We'll see. The one thing I hope will never happen to me is that I get exploited by someone else. I've already had too many people try to take advantage of me, because me being a nice guy and on top of that a hard worker that's pretty smart and that has good work ethic and this and that and responsible and so on and so forth, people look at me, and not everyone, but I've had too many people try to take advantage of me because of all those reasons, and sometimes they get away with it. Sometimes I don't realize what they're doing, and until it's too late, I get burnt out, or you know, I confront them about it. They start getting hostile towards me when I bring it up and telling them to stop doing that to me and blah blah blah, and then eventually it's a fallout. So just trying to make sure that doesn't happen online. And I guess for anybody else too that that's aspiring to be an artist or anything else, really, just don't let people take advantage of you if you can help it. I know there are cases where that's not always possible, but nonetheless though, that's just one of my things I hate the most about relationships, is if someone's just trying to take advantage of me. Yeah, pretty much. I can't think of anything else to talk about, really. Pretty much some of the things I have in my mind I want to get off my chest. How much time was left? About 40 minutes, so I think I'll give it about 10 minutes and see if there's something else I can talk about. If not, I might just mute the mic and just spend the rest of the stream drawing.
Are you saving again?
I guess this pretty much proves my point, though. If I was doing this in the pencil brush and then trying to go over all this over again with the inking brush, it would have taken double the amount of time to get the same end result, which is doing the line work for this project, for this screenshot. I guess there's one more thing that I want to bring up, if nothing else, and that's the fact that it's hard for me to believe it, but I've had my drawing tablet since 2018 or 2019. I want to say 2019, and I have only replaced my tablet pen's nibs once. I've been using this thing for about 4 years now. Yeah. And no, wait, is that right? 3 plus 4. Yeah, 4 years. And the fact is that I've only ever replaced my nibs once throughout the entire time that I've been using this thing. It means that either I don't use it enough, or I take pretty good care of my drawing tablet. But I'm hoping that I'll use or just draw more so that I can get more use out of this thing. Because why bother having tools if I'm not going to use them right? I wonder if anybody else has the same Winky Dinky. Not Winky Dinky. I don't know what the word is for it. Happenstance. Conundrum. I don't know. Oh, that's something else I wanted to bring up. After I get through the Ninja Gaiden playthrough, I definitely want to do another stream. I definitely wanted to stream myself doing another playthrough of New Vegas. Currently off stream, I've been playing on hardcore mode, very hard difficulty, and I'm currently doing a pistol revolver build, and it's been working out pretty well. So I'm hoping that I can demonstrate it on stream. Oh, I also didn't. The only thing that I used from the Courier Stash add-on, or not add-on, DLC, is just a Vault 13 canteen. I got rid of all the other weapons and armor that you start out with that DLC, because I didn't want to make the game any easier than it already was, even on hardcore difficulty. I'll just ignore those. Another 30 minutes went in stream. Here's the last lease I'm gonna draw. I guess the question is, that I've been thinking about is, am I gonna go back to teaching and school setting? And so far, I don't think I will. Now, I was hoping that I'd be picked up by a community college, works as a professor, but those instructors really don't move at all, and there's not really a big demand for something like that anyways. So, the prospect of me going back to teaching is pretty low right now. Might just do something else instead. Try something else. I thought about working in healthcare and getting the training and license to be a nurse. Because I've been pretty good at working in jobs where I help people, social work, or whatever. Even in retail. And I know I can pretty much do whatever job and training pretty well. I've proven that countless times. You put me in any setting, as long as you give me the training and materials, I'm gonna do a really good job. But I would have to save up for tuition, because I'd have to basically go into a 2-year program at least to get a registered nurse license. And right now I still have to pay out the rest of the alternative certification teaching program I'm in, so yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that anytime soon. And that's something that I want to look forward to doing in the future. Oops. Okay, let's do the leaves on the left side.
Are you saving again?
Yep. You can't stop me, Postal Dude. Should make Fanart a Postal Dude as well. One day. Oh. I think that's good enough. Pretty much just... Yeah, it's evenly balanced.
Are you saving
Or
again?
balanced enough anyways. Got about 18 more minutes left. Let's see. What can I do right now? Well, I said I was gonna do hatching, so I might as well start on that. Okay. Make a new layer. Let's call this one hatching. Almost kind of pointless picking this dynamic brush tool if I'm using Assistant. Yeah, I can't even use the Assistant without picking a regular brush.
Are you saving again?
Definitely need to add more hotkey. Definitely. Well, never mind. I'll just leave it alone. Okay. So we're at the 2-hour mark,
Again?
and that means I should stop here for today. But before I do so, let's take a look at the work without the reference image. See what it looks like, or how it's looking so far. Okay, wow. Hatching is way better. Well, it looks a little inconsistent. I can fix some of this. Definitely though, this shadow over here needs to be way darker, which means that I need to make add more lines or change the line thickness in this area right here. But otherwise though, it's looking pretty good. Nice. Let me do something real quick though. There we go. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. So, got a good amount of work done. I keep
Are you
at it.
saving again?
Yes, I am. Okay. Anything else I want to say before I end the stream? I'll see if I could stream again later today. I definitely want to try to aim for more streams throughout the week. Don't see any reason why not. But yeah. I definitely need to work on those video ideas as well though. Only issue is that I'm still debating on whether or not I want to make scripts for them. Because, simply put, when I was teaching in the elementary school I was working at, you know, of course I'm not going to read off of a script when I'm teaching. And likewise, I don't think I should do that for the video either. But at the same time though, I don't want to drag the video on. And on top of that, I want to make sure the information I'm trying to convey gets communicated effectively. So, we'll see. Then again, I could always do several takes when discussing or trying to instruct a particular activity or topic. So we'll see. I'll experiment later today. Yeah. That's gonna be it for this stream. Hope you enjoyed. I don't know how frequently I'll be doing drawing streams, but I technically should be trying to do more streams in general, so if I just keep doing nothing but drawing streams, then so be it. But yeah, we'll see. Definitely be playing more Gaiden Sigma on stream sometime soon. I'll of course make an announcement on Twitter. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Anything else? Definitely make a list of topics for this stream. Just wanting to talk again. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Or thanks for listening. And I'll see you in the next stream. Peace.